And welcome back to the Big Sports Show on 550. Frank Cusimano playing a little substitute role here for Brendan Weesey for about 15 minutes because we're delighted to have on the guest line Holly Sheilley, the new athletic director at the University of Missouri, St. Louis. Holly, welcome to St. Louis and welcome to the program. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much, Frank. I'm excited to be here.
So I spent about 6 years of my life in Lexington, Kentucky, and one of the teams that I used to cover was Transylvania University. I'm so old that I covered the basketball coach, Brian Lane, when he was a star player, and I knew his father, Don Lane, really well. What a great basketball hotbed city that was you worked in.
Yes, it was. And Don Lane and Brian Lane both are tremendous individuals. What a great family they are.
And you also worked in the Louisville University Athletic Department as an assistant athletic director. And you talk about some star power while you were there. Bobby Petrino and Rick Pitino at the same time. That must have been eventful.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It was very eventful. That's right. And we had Prado was the baseball coach. So anybody that had a Petrino, and Prado, it was a little confusing at times.
That's a lot of Italians in one place.
It is. You got that right.
So why did you decide to make the move and come to my alma mater, the University of Missouri, St. Louis?
You know, actually, there's quite a few reasons, but I'll try to narrow it down quick. And that is, I feel like this athletic department has been headed for sure in the right direction, has so much potential, great coaches. And I was looking for that next kind of challenge in my life. Had done what I thought I could do during my time at Transylvania, which was wonderful. And so I'm really excited to be a part of this new venture.
And you also make the move from Division III to Division II. What's that transition like for you?
You know, I think, I've been in Division I, been in Division III, been at the NCAA, and to me, there's really not that much differences really between the divisions, because and what my goal is, student athlete experience is the number one thing on my mind. And so that should be the same in all three divisions. And so, of course, there are really, some differences like scholarships versus no scholarships and those type of things. But my first focus is actually, what are we doing for our student athletes?
And I've been talking to some friends there, and they say that you are very accessible. You volunteered to run the scoreboard and to be a color commentator on radio broadcast. You'll do a little bit of anything to help this program out, I guess.
Yeah, I will. And, I've always done that. And I think, it's no different than what we ask our student athletes to do, and that is do the role that's needed at that time. And so that's what I want to take on, is what do we need from me to help make us more successful?
We're visiting with Holly Sheilley, the new athletic director at UMSL, and you're the first UMSL athletic director hired who was also an assistant coach for the Chinese softball team at the Olympics. How did this come about?
Yeah, so in the 96 Olympics, I think life is a lot about who you know and who you've met and where they get you. And so I had an introduction from a colleague friend of mine. They were looking for some ambassador assistant coaches, and said, hey, we'd love to have you be a part of this. And I definitely was not going to say no. And so it was a tremendous experience that I had, got to be around all the games and be a part of it. And so, even now when I watch the Olympics this year, although there was not softball, which is a whole nother story, it's a lot of good memories.
Did you learn to speak the language? How did you communicate?
No, they actually had translators, thank God, because I cannot speak Chinese. So I did a lot of things through translation, but it's really interesting to watch how different countries, how they train, what equipment they use, because it actually is very different than what we do here in the U.S.
So you probably knew at a really young age that some way or another you were going to end up in athletics. I understand you have a twin brother, and you would drag him to every game or every pickup event. Hey, if I'm going to play, you're going to play with me. You just love sports from a really young age, correct?
Yeah, I did. And, it was in the era of Title IX, just, taking speed, and there wasn't a lot of girls sports. And my mom would say, hey, if he gets to play, she gets to play. And so it really gave me an opportunity because I might not have had it not been for having a twin brother that was tall and people definitely wanted him on the team.
All right, let's talk about the success right now. UMSL Athletics volleyball team ranked 5th in the country, and both soccer teams off to a good starts too.
Yeah, they are. I'm really excited. I'll see, although it's a very rainy day here, get to see the soccer teams both compete tonight. And, I'm really impressed by the coaching staff here. It's really some great people who've done some good things, and I think there's a lot more to come.
All right, let's talk about your basketball coach, a real good friend of mine, Bob Sunvold. What an incredible stretch of success he's had. And I understand he was actually on the committee that hired you, and now you're his boss. So I think you kind of owe him, so you got to be really nice to him, correct?
Well, maybe. Well, I have to leave that up. Frank, I'll have to get back to you on that. But I am, Bob is it was very, not even during the interview process, but getting to know people who were outside of UMSL and talking about Bob. They spoke very highly of him, and I can see why. So far, he's been everything people said he's going to be.
All right, what have you discovered food-wise in St. Louis in your brief stay here?
You know what, Frank? I have discovered that I've been working too many hours and not getting dinner till 8:30 or 9 at night, and so that's got to change. So I know that's what y'all are known for here. I've got to get some food and go to the Hill, I think.
Yes, the Italian food on the Hill would be a great option for you. We are fellow dog lovers. You have 2 at home. Tell me who they are and what they are.
Yeah, we have a dog that actually this week we had took her in as a foster. She's a Maltese poo. Her name is Daisy, and we adopted her. So we've had her just at a year, and then we not sure exactly her age, 2 or 3, and then we have another dog who is a Maltese Yorkie named Rolo, and she is just about 2.
Boy, and I bet neither of those dogs has ever met a stranger. Those are great breeds.
Yeah, well, Rolo definitely thinks everyone loves her, and Daisy is a little squeamish from her background. She was in a really bad situation, but she's getting better with time.
Boy, it's a good-looking facility. Every time I walk in that gym, and I played in that gym from 81 to 85, it still looks like it's brand new. I don't know what they've done in the past couple of years, maybe new floor, new lighting, but it is a beautiful facility.
Yeah, and, Lori Flanagan has done a tremendous job keeping this facility as nice as it is. And, that takes a lot of effort to keep your facilities, especially, one like this that had been something else and trying to sort of retrofit it into athletics. But, yeah, the gym is very nice. So
has there been a time since you've been there in your brief stay where it was a really good moment where you said to yourself, boy, this was the right move? Because I know you enjoyed your time at Transylvania. It's a beautiful area. But when has that moment been? And describe it where you thought to yourself, yep, I made the right decision.
I'd have to say I had gone down the hall I'm still sort of getting acquainted with the building. And I was going down the hall and a student stopped me and she said, "Are you the AD?" And I said, "I am. I'm the new AD." And I started talking to her. And, the reason I got into this business was because I had such an influential person, an AD in my life when I was playing. And so I was just that moment to say, yeah, you know what? The students here are going to be just like the students I've had before at Transylvania, at Louisville, and the one I coached. And so that made me know that this is the right spot.
Well, it's an honor to have you on the program. Welcome to St. Louis, Holly Sheilley. We know there's going to be a lot of success in the athletic department at the University of Missouri St. Louis. Thanks so much for your time.
Oh, thanks, Frank. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to getting to meet you in person.
You got it. I'll be there for the reunion, I think, in October, the basketball program. I'm excited about that.
That's awesome.
All right. That is Holly Sheilley, and this is the Big Sports Show on the Big 550.